right, finally this week, I want to take you back to the 27th of July, 1991. It was a long time ago. And on that day, an Afrikaans game show called Noot appeared on South African television screens for the very first time. Now, let's fast forward 28 years, and the program, as you well know, is still going strong, making it, I think, the longest-running game show in local television history. But with 43 seasons and almost 700 episodes in the bag, the popular and well-known host, Johan Stemmet, recently announcing that he's going to be stepping out of the limelight to make way for some fresh blood. Johan, a very warm welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So here's the first question. Top of your game, big South African television star. Everything's at your feet. Why are you quitting?
You know, with these sort of things, television, you must, when you start out, you have a line in sight. You say to yourself, that's my cut-off line. And as you get older, your eyes get weaker, and you tend to not always see that line. And by the time you do see it, you've crossed it, and then it's too late. I think the important thing is the television program, not the presenter. The presenter aids the program. In the interest of the program, it's the right time now to make the move.
Come on, Johan, you're being modest here. It's all intertwined. You are as much of the program as the brand itself, surely.
I realize that, and I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
You know, we did a word or two many years ago with Jeremy Mansfield.
I remember it well.
I bought the format rights from France too. And Armand Jamot, who produced the show in France, the chiffres et lettres, he said to me, just never let the presenter get more important than the show, because then the show hasn't got a life. If the show can stand on its own feet, and it's strong enough to stand on its own feet, and the presenter can aid in the process of keeping it there, then it's fine.
But it is a risky move, though, isn't it?
It was well thought through. It wasn't just something we did. We first sourced a presenter, made sure this guy is the guy that can do the thing, and then we went for it. I'm still going to continue producing the show. I'll be directing it. I'll still be sourcing the contestants. I'll be doing everything that I used to do. I'm just not going to be presenting it.
So you've inadvertently let slip, or maybe deliberately, because you're a smart guy, that you've identified the presenter.
Yeah.
You've said it's a guy.
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's Jeremy Max, but you mustn't let it slip at this stage.
But we had an agreement.
Now, you're the front runner at this stage. No, we're going to keep that as part of the hype for the moment, just before the new format comes out. And you must also be...
Is he a well-known person?
Yes, very well known. Okay. You see, you can renew anything, because in any television show, as you know, you always play the what and the how up against each other. The what is the content of the show, and the how is how you're going to color it in. And you can continuously change then this, then that. You can adapt the show, you can renew the show by bringing in a new band member, a newer, younger contestants, everything but the presenter. He can't be renewed. So we will change the whole format, not just an element.
So I want you to take us into your wardrobe at home and tell me how many waistcoats are there.
Not one.
Where are they?
You know what the funny thing is? This is very interesting. I see the flashbacks there of yesteryear. We wore the waistcoats for probably 3 seasons out of the 43. How are you going to color
They made their mark, though, didn't they?
Well, the people still to this day talk about them. We gave them to charities. They auctioned them up for children's homes and so on. Yeah. So I haven't got a single one, and you won't see me in one of them.
Johan, explain to me why a program like this is able to run for 700-plus episodes. What was the resonance that it found with the audience? What was that secret ingredient? Because we also both know that if you find that magical hook, this show can go on in perpetuity.
Please tell me what it is. Please tell me what it is. You don't know these things. When we started off, we said to each other the old corny thing of putting all our eggs into one basket, but watching that basket, which we did. And we constantly renewed it, because any program that stagnates will rot and it'll die. So you've got to bring in new elements, new games, new waistcoats, different clothing, new band members, then new games again, then a new set. Keep renewing the show, because the moment you just leave it and say, well, it's working, so just let's not touch it. I don't believe in that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think you do fix it all the time. You keep maintaining it all the time. And I think that's why it went for so many years, and still going for so many years.
How did you come by the property, and what attracted you to Noot right in the very beginning?
It was... Johan van Rensburg and myself, we worked at the SABC from 1980. 89, we left to start our own production house at that stage. And SABC called us in. They called a lot of outside companies and said, we want to have new game shows. Have you got any ideas? And at that stage, we'd made a few. I did a game show called Micro Macro with Leon Schuster back in the early 80s. And we were involved in music our whole lives. So we came up with a concept, what about a music game show? And they shot this down initially because they said it's too specialized. But it's entertainment. Everybody listens to music in their cars, everywhere they go. So we want to try and take this specialized game show, quiz show, and try and base it only on music and make it work. And it just started growing. Initially, it was just an Afrikaans show, as you remember, right back in 1991. And then we started bringing in English music, English artists. And before we knew, it was a show for the whole South Africa. I remember the time when Mara Low came onto the show and our ratings jumped incredibly, and we suddenly got new audiences all the time. And I think that was the secret, to make it accessible to everybody, entertaining to everybody. Although it's presented in Afrikaans, there's something in it for any language group.
How difficult was it to present? I got the sense that every time I saw you doing it, there was this...
Were you watching?
Of course. There was this, not every week, there was this inherent sense that you were really loving what you were doing. Or did you fake it sometimes?
No. That is something that one can see in your presenting as well. You enjoy what you do, and I think that is the secret of this game. If you don't like what you're doing, get out of it. I've got a passion for what I do. I'm very sad that I'm stopping the presenting side of this show because I really enjoy it. You know, television's about people, for people.
You also remind me of a statement that the comedian Jerry Seinfeld made when he stopped his show, and everyone said, but this has got another 3 or 4 seasons. And he said, quit while you're ahead. I mean, you're ahead now with this thing, aren't you? But let me tell you, the moment new guy starts, whoever he is, you're going to be sitting in the production booth, and I guarantee you there's going to be a sense of nostalgia, maybe even regret, Johan.
Yes, I know. Yeah. The moment I announced it, I regretted it.
You told me before we started this interview that you never worked to what we call in the business an auto cue or teleprompter. I'm right. I work with a teleprompter, so in front of me right now, I'm looking at camera 1, and there's a little line there which says show close. And what I always do is that there's a little, we type something, goodbye, thank you for watching, see you next week, yada, yada, yada. This week we've left it open because I want you, in that inimitable way that you always used to do, to look at camera 3 over there if you can. Close the show for us, Johan Stemmet.
Okay, well, like het was 'n voorreg om hier te wees vanaand. Hoop jy dit saam met ons geniet. Ons sien mekaar weer eendag op 'n reendag of op 'n straathoek eendag weer. Mooi bly.